Welcome all my home buyers out there. My name is Omar Pineda, your Austin realtor with the XP Realty, and today we are in the city of Jarrell, Texas, in a community called Hunters Glen, and the builder we're looking at is Brightland Homes. This community has a starting price point at $319,990. Now, this floor plan we're looking at is called the Brightland floor plan. It's priced at $329,990. So that's the starting price point for this floor plan. It is a 3-bed, 2 baths, 1,610 square feet. We're looking at a 2-car garage, and it's a single 1-story. Now, this home is currently for sale, and it's being offered at $344,990. So one thing that I really liked was just the whole flow when it comes to where the primary bedroom is from the other remaining bedrooms that I'll point out here in a second. It has that separation, so if you want that privacy, you want that noise, reduction, this layout is going to be perfect for you. Very nice walk-in pantry. Now, this is an all-electric community. I know it can be a deal breaker for some buyers, so that's something to keep of note. A lot of the new construction communities that I've seen so far in Jarrell have been all-electric. Let me know in the comments if you have bought a new home in the last year or two that's all natural gas community. I would love to tour it. See that deep sink, farmhouse sink? That's something that's standard in this community. The ceiling fan in the living room and the ceiling fan in the primary bedroom, those are all really nice things that the builder is offering that isn't come standard for other builders. This home does have gutters all the way around. It does have that front and backyard sod with the irrigation, so you have the sprinkler system. It does have that water softener that a lot of people, that's almost a standard I've seen for the most part nowadays. It does have, okay, so now we're going to be going into the primary bedroom. You see how I had that kind of like nice little long hallway? I thought that was pretty, that's a nice little touch. You can definitely have like a nice little entryway there. I can't tell, are the ceilings vaulted? I can't tell there. But you can see here, look how just, there's still a lot more construction to be had. It's just not enough people know about this community. So they haven't been selling like as crazy as one would think. But I think if you watch this video, you're going to be pleasantly surprised at why this would be a good community, because the price point is there, especially for what you're getting for the build of the home, the quality of the home, especially for a Brightland home. The price per square foot is definitely one of the most competitive I've seen if you're looking at Williamson County. So that little shower seat, I should say, was an option. That's definitely an upgrade, but they decided to include that with this build, which is always nice. I love when builders do that. Some builders look at options that a lot of people opt in for. So when they're building these spec homes, these homes that are ready to move in before they even have a buyer, they look at that and they include some of these upgrades because they know that's what people want. Now, this builder is offering a home appliance package, which is amazing because and that's the kind of like nature of the market. A lot of builders are offering like the washer and dryer and the refrigerator to incentivize buyers to close with them, right? Which is a good thing. It's a win-win for you. Buyers, it's your turn now to come up. So here are the other 2 bedrooms. Again, you see how that long hallway, you have that separation there from the primary bedroom. Now, take a look at the HOA fees, because this is really interesting. This is a testament to new construction, right? So for the remainder of 2024, it's free because there are no amenities built yet. And in 2025, it's going up to $15, but that's more than likely going to go up because this community will be amenity rich, and that means it's going to have a pool, it's going to have a stocked fishing pond from what I hear, it's going to have a playground, all those nice amenities that we see in these new construction communities, but it's not there yet. And you will see what that looks like at the end of this video for the drone shot. I've included that. This is all electric community, so keep that in mind. The tax rate here is phenomenal. A lot of the tax rates I'm seeing for all the new construction communities here in Jarrell, they're all high. This is one of the communities that's actually closer to 2% rather than closer to 3%. And that's going to matter because as your home appreciates in value, your property taxes will go up. And that 2% is going to be a lot more attractive to a buyer and to your pocketbook than a 3% property tax rate. So that's a huge big pro in this community. Not to mention the HOA. That's really affordable, but I would keep in mind that that's probably going to go up. But hey, it has a very low starting point. So if it goes up to $50, that's still pretty competitive to what surrounding communities are offering. Now, notice how this 2-car garage has that little extra lip there, so that you can include, and that, like, think of that being a wall of shelving. So that would be great for storage, and you can still park a car in here if you so choose it to be. This does come with the garage opener. Some builders do not include that. That's an extra. That's something you can negotiate for. I can negotiate that on your behalf, along with some of the incentives, because remember, I keep a pulse on the market, and I know what all the builders in this area are offering their buyers, because that's what I can see in my system that I would love to show you during our consultation, so we can really do a deep dive on what I'm seeing. Now notice this nice oversized covered back patio. That's a nice little touch that not other builders are offering. Okay, this home does have a gutter system, which is important for the foundation. Okay, these are all little extras that some builders are taking away to help bring the affordability price down. But at the mid 300s, if you can make that work, you're getting a great home, and in a community that still has so much room for future growth when it comes to home appreciation and just the overall age of the community. Because as you can see, there's still a lots available. So if you're a home buyer and you're trying to look for a premium lot where you have either no backyard neighbors, you want to be maybe hug a green belt, or have that really nice long driveway or extra large backyard that you get at the end of a cul-de-sac, that's this community. There's still a lot more available prime locations here, as you can see. Now, see that retention looking pond back there? That's where the amenity center is going to go. So you're going to have that pond that's going to be stocked fish. You're going to have a pool. You're going to have an amenity center. You're going to have some sports courts of some kind. So it's all going to be there. So that's coming. That is coming for sure. Now, peep this. As we pan a little bit to the left here, pay attention to the back where you see kind of some dust moving. That, I want you to take a mental picture of that, because we're going to discuss that here in a second on why that is important. So pause here for a second, take a mental picture. It's right back there. You kind of see like where a little bit of dust is forming because they're moving dirt. That's what I want you to take a note of. Like, take note of the proximity it is to this community. Okay. Now, keep in mind, it does look small, but they have more phases that they will be building in this community for more homes. This is just the first phase. And as you can see, not enough people know about it. That's why they don't have any homes built yet. Okay. And I'm hoping after you see this video, it'll incentivize you to come check out Brightland Homes in this community. There's another builder, Century Communities, I believe, is also building here. I didn't get a chance to tour the model because by the time I got to them, they were already closed. So I'm going to be sharing my screen here so you can take a look at a few more things I really wanted to show you. So one thing that the elephant in the room that I want to address is the distance, right? Because everyone says that about Jarrell, is that it's far. Now, it is far relative to, like, if you're looking at it from downtown Austin, okay? That it is far to downtown Austin. But people who are looking at Jarrell, for the most part, that's not a huge deal breaker, right? But if that's something that you want to be close to, then this area wouldn't make sense, right? Because it's really far. And if you're working towards the Domain area, like North Austin, where a lot of the tech is, it's still kind of far, right? But maybe that drive is worth it to get into a price point where you can actually save money, right? Because the mortgage payments in Jarrell, I would say, will beat what you're paying in rent if we're matching apples to apples here, okay? Because that's how good the price points are in Jarrell. Now, people say that it's too far from like anything that's fun or from from like things that you could do, right? Now, if you go to Jarrell, it's not like it's a super desolate town, right? They do have some place to eat as far as a restaurant. They do have like a sports field, so you can, they have baseball and football. But the big draw is that it doesn't have like that central downtown, like third place that everyone talks about, right? It does not have that, not yet at least, right? But it's coming. But until that comes, you're a 15-minute drive to Georgetown, if you go south on I-35, right? And in Georgetown, you're gonna be able to scratch that itch of going downtown, going to the city square where you can have your coffee, or you can have your fine dining, you can have the piano bar experience, right? Georgetown has plenty of things to do, indoors and outdoors, and it's a 15-minute drive. Okay, not to mention I'm a Costco guy, right? And I have to be close to a Costco because I go there bi-weekly, and this little green drop pin is where the nearest Costco is. And it's a brand new Costco that just opened up in the last, I would say, year or two, right? This is just north of Georgetown, south of Jarrell, only 15 minutes. That's a win for me. That's a win. And here's Hunters Glen right here on the map. Okay. Notice how on this side, on the west side of I-35, we have these communities. There's still a little bit more, some more new construction happening, other builders I'm not tracking, but this is what I have so far, right? And you can see just on the east side of I-35, there's a lot more builders, a lot more construction happening. All these little orange icons are builders, okay? Now, this is what I really want to talk about because this is very interesting. So this is privately owned right now by the McCaw family. Let me know in the comments how you pronounce that, because I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that. And they are currently they're in negotiations of selling over 7,000 acres of their land to a developer so they can build a new downtown. Yes, a new downtown. At least that's how I read it. Okay, so check this out. Harrington said DMB leaders envision Solana Ranch including many elements of a traditional Texas town with a wide range of housing types, sizes, and price points, along with shopping, dining, offices, entertainment, recreational facilities, schools, and churches. There will be a robust network of paths and trails for walkers or bikers. This community will be built in a series of villages. So that all sounds to me like it's going to be the new downtown. It almost sounds like it'll be like the Leander North Line. Like it definitely has that essence of how they're marketing that so far. So why is that a big deal? Because this is where Hunter Glen is. Look at the proximity to this community to what's about to break ground here, right? And remember what I said earlier to kind of take a mental note of that picture, right? Let's go back. Now towards the end here, you see the size of this community, right? You see how there's still a lot more room for growth and new homes. And then if we go over here, we'll see a little bit off in the distance. That's, I think, the starting point of that, of what I'm talking about. That's Solana Ranch, where they're going to be making that the new, like, downtown, it seems like, for me and Jarrell. So you're going to be super close to that in this community. Now that is a huge win because that's huge. That's future value there that you're going to get. And this deal is almost pretty much set in stone from what I'm tracking, the way I'm reading it. They're still finalizing all the details. When it's all said and done, this is going to be over $2 billion of a project so far is what they're estimating, right? And there's been a lot of talk about Disney possibly being a partner in this development, and that got me really, going down a rabbit hole. Like, is that true? Because if it is, how has no one talked about that yet? But it was a rumor. The articles I read debunked that. They're not going to be in this development at all. But that's not to say that you're not going to have all these other nice things that are coming from this development because of what they're trying to do with it. And I really think Jarrell, since it already is becoming one of the fastest growing cities in the Austin area because of that price point and because it has room to grow, right? And you can see that this developer feels very confident in the area. So that's something to keep in mind too. Now, really quickly here, I really want to show you this community. Okay, you can see everything in red is what they've closed, and everything in green is what they have available that you can purchase today. Okay, you can see this is not huge. This is just phase one, though. They have other phases that they do plan on rolling out more homes, but you could see that they're not selling that quickly, right? So that's good for you, the buyer, because they are willing to entertain buyers right now. Or do you remember the days when you would have to put in like a kind of lottery system to buy a home? Those days are so long and far behind us. And specifically to this community, that is not the case. And I say all that because if you take a look here, you could see this is This is the data for this specific community, right? And one thing I really want you to take note of is this column right here. These are buyers' closing costs paid by the seller. Okay, and so the seller being the builder in this case. So this number right here is what they gave back to the buyer in the form of kind of like flex cash, right? So they can help either pay for the closing costs, help buy down that interest rate, or help pay for some home upgrades. It depends. It's flexible in that sense for you, the buyer, to use, right? But look how generous they've been. I'm looking at $28,000, $28,000 in some cases, right? It was very interesting of what this person did for this home. Let me know in the comments if you want to know, because it was listed at $429, right? He met their asking at $429, but on the back end, he got $28,000. There's a very specific strategy on why they did that, and hats off to the real estate agent who led their client in the right direction, because this is a good win right here, and I can tell you why during our consultation in that strategy, and why that makes sense for certain buyers if you have enough of a budget. But look, for Brightland Homes, for the quality of home that they're offering, the price per square foot is under $200. Can you see that there? It's under $200, which is very competitive, which is under what the most other builders are offering if you're looking at other locations like Liberty Hill, Leander, right? But again, you are paying a premium for that location, right? So if you are a buyer and you don't have to be close to all that stuff, or you don't mind driving 15, maybe 30 minutes to get there, then I would give Jarrell a shot, especially this builder a shot, this community a shot, because of everything I've shown you of what's to come. Okay, so what should you do next if you're a home buyer and you're looking to buy in the next 30 to 60 days? Definitely give me a shout. I'll have all my information linked in the description. If you have a little bit more time on your hands and you're probably thinking about 2025 as like your year to buy a home, then let's still talk. I love when we have time on our hands. We can really build a relationship and figure out what your criteria is, and maybe see what's kind of blocking you, what kind of barriers are in the way, so we can see if we can tackle them together, right? Because remember, I do not work alone. I have very smart people I work with in mortgage lending, in credit repair, in insurance, so we can figure out a way to make the numbers work or build your credit back up, because stuff happens, okay? And I've seen my people work miracles, and it's amazing when we all work together to get you to the finish line together, and it's a win-win for all of us, okay? So definitely schedule a discovery call. It's a more meaningful conversation. We get some face-to-face time. I get to share my screen. I get to, if you really want to look at the numbers and take a really nice deep dive, and you're kind of like analytical like me, then we probably will get along, because I like looking at the number and telling a story with the numbers. Okay, and because with new construction, there's so much happening here in the Austin area. Where, I mean, if you're not using the data as part of your decision-making process, then you're going to be leaving money on the table. And that is a promise. That is a promise. You will be leaving money on the table. So if you like all things new construction, subscribe to the channel. I keep up with all the new construction happening here in the North Austin area. I sometimes venture down south from here to there, depending if I have a client looking in the south area. But both the south and the north are growing rapidly. There's so much new construction happening, but they both have a different vibe, a different feel to each area, right? And if you live in the north, there's very slim chances that you'll go south, and if you're live in the south, there's very slim chances you'll go to the north. There's almost like this divide here because of the distance, so you have to choose wisely. But that's something we can both discover together, right? So you can see what I'm saying. All right. And let's see. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button if you got some value out of this video. Let me know in the comments, where should I go next, right? I'm constantly touring these new build communities. I'm building my relationships with all the builders so I can represent you and get you the best terms at the best price, so you don't have buyer's remorse, so you're not house poor. That's one thing I set up my clients for success, okay? I do not want to get you into a home where it's at the very tippy top of your budget, and now where you're house poor, meaning that you can barely make your mortgage payments and pay all your expenses and have just enough left over to maybe buy yourself, a Starbucks coffee, right? If you don't have enough money to left over to continue, to put a little bit in your emergency fund, then that's something we will discuss, because I am a fiduciary at the end of the day, and I'm really looking out for your best interest when it comes to the home buying process. Because again, I do not want you to be house poor, where you're going to feel like this huge weight over your shoulders now that you bought a house, because that is not a fun feeling. And I've been there myself. So I'm going to wrap things up for this video. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and I'll catch you on the next one.